Alright fellas, now this weekend we're going to see the returns of Bam Rodriguez as well as Boots Ennis, but I want to focus more on Bam. After his last bout against Strada, I'd compare it to almost like an Inoue Daenerys sort of matchup. By that I mean it was the rare occasion where the wider boxing community tuned in for a fight at such a light weight, and really went, damn, he could truly be a pound for pound great. To get you ready for the big fight this weekend, I want to go back for a second and just remind ourselves of just how good Bam Rodriguez actually is, whilst also having a look at who he's versing this weekend. Also, if you love everything boxing, you've found yourself in the right place. If you enjoy, please consider subscribing because I'll always try to keep you informed. Now, Bam Rodriguez is finally starting to get the hype he deserves. These lower divisions usually don't get the hype they deserve, and for people to pay attention, they have to be an exceptionally good talent, and Bam Rodriguez is the perfect example of that. Even before the pros, he was an established amateur. He won back-to-back national US championships and impressed on the world amateur stage. At the age of 17 in 2017, he made his debut, winning by a dominant unanimous decision. Like most US talents, he went on the usual let's verse a bunch of cab drivers tour, yet through this time he proved to be a leap above a lot of the comparable talents. Blending his amateur experience with professional techniques, he began to be known for his clean, sharp counters, relentless energy, and intelligent movement. After a few solid years climbing the ranks, he proved he was the real deal by moving up a division to versus Carlos Cuadras on short notice for the WBC Super Flyweight title, where he would go on to claim the title by a unanimous decision victory. After a couple defenses of the title and the completion of a breakout year, he decided to move back down and take on a new challenge. In April, he stepped in the ring against Christian Gonzalez for the WBO flyweight title. He outpointed Gonzalez with a commanding performance and in the process made him a 2-division world champ. Later that year, he had one of his biggest fights against undefeated British fighter Sonny Edwards. This would be a title unification, and Bam once again proved why he's the real deal, winning the fight and unifying the WBO and IBF titles. This win pushed him into the debate of the top 10 pound for pound list, and what pretty much solidified his position was his last matchup against Strada. This fight would mark Bam's return to the super flyweight division, and he would face one of the toughest competitors in this weight class. In June of this year, he faced off for Strada's WBC super flyweight title. This fight was huge. Strada, of course, was one of the more experienced and respected fighters in the division. Known for his endurance, skill, and ring IQ, many saw this as a 50-50 fight. Yet Bam rose to the occasion, bringing intensity and sharpness Strada struggled to match. He controlled the pace, dropped Strada in the 4th, got dropped himself in the 6th, but managed to end the fight in the 7th by KO. This win sent a message that he's here to dominate, but the question turned to how far can he go? This win really brought him into the mouths of everyone. All of a sudden, the big match now to make is Bam versus pound for pound great Inoue or another star of the lower divisions like Junto Nakatani. He's now officially on everyone's radar, and even for the people who only talk about Tank and Canelo. So who is he versing this weekend? Well, he'll find himself in the ring against Pedro Guevara. With a record of 42-4, his resume is mostly just filler. Probably his standout fight was his last bout against Andrew Maloney. Now, Maloney was a previous world title challenger and had faced the likes of Nakatani before. Pedro managed to get the win by split decision in Maloney's home country of Australia, and that's how he found himself in the position for this fight. The main reason for this fight, I assume, is for Bam to get the mandatory defense out the way. Pedro holds the WBC interim super flyweight title, and that's really the only reason he's getting this shot. I expect this to be a pretty easy fight for Bam. For both Bam and Boots, these fights are borderline victory lap fights. I'm not talking down on their opponents, yet honestly they just aren't anywhere close to the league which these guys are in. Also, Boots' opponent is a rematch against a fighter he dominated. Why do we need this rematch? But it will be an entertaining watch regardless. The skill of both of these fighters are next level, and if you decide to watch the fight, it is available through a DAZN subscription. So support your boy and use the link down below to sign up and watch. But post this fight, it will be interesting to see what's next for Bam. The natural fight I think everyone wants to see is the Strada rematch. That's probably the biggest fight at the moment you could make in his division. Other than him, you have no real big names in the division. You have Fernando Martinez, which Bam could fight in a unification. He's undefeated, yet it's just not a real massive fight. There's also his last opponent, Kazuto Ioka, who is a long-running world champion. I just like Ioka, although I wouldn't see him winning, I just think it'd be an interesting matchup. Another discussion we could see post-match is if Bam wins and the Strada matchup looks unlikely, could we see him move up again? It's a big task and I don't think it will happen in the next couple years. But if we think about some of the biggest fights which could be made for Bam, they reside in the division above. The likes of Nakatani, Takuma Inoue, Takei, Charlie Edwards, Jason Maloney, they're all solid big fights which are all in the division above. It's a bit of a pipe dream asking to move up so soon, but if he wants the big fights against big names, that's where he's got to go. I think truly Bam could be a pound for pound great in the making. Although he does have some holes, I just don't see anyone touching him in his current division. Preferably now, over the next 18 months, he should be looking to unify his division, become undisputed, and then move up to bantamweight post this to chase some of the biggest fights possible. I hope he doesn't lose this weekend so that statement isn't horrific, but we will see. But now I want to hear what you think about Bam Rodriguez. Do you have him in your pound for pound top 10, and what's your thoughts on this weekend's card? If you did enjoy, please consider liking and subscribing, it does a ton for the channel. Yet, thanks for watching fellas, and I'll catch you in the next one.